I've seen people in this business too, as they're trying to use the biofeedback or the neurofeedback to perform better, but what they're trying to do is, it's the objective. Well, you know, and that's the key. This is where Daniel Goleman, you know, where he became successful and known for, is that we've got a lot of these so-called intelligent people working for businesses, but they become more of a liability than an asset, because emotionally they don't know how to get along with people. They react, they're stressed, they're whatever, but they've got this intelligence. But in the long run, they cost more. In the banking business in Zurich, there's been some coaches who have gone in and have helped people, and then they quit their jobs. So a lot of times coaches are not really loved. And that is the line. That's the hard one. Because if I go in and help somebody, a lot of the times is that they're going to wake up. And they're going to realize, I'm killing myself. What I'm going to say to you is that there's a lot of people, and I've had some people, and I've had some women, and they've gone after therapy, after therapy, after therapy. And I don't know if it's a question of not having the ability to commit to something, or in some ways it's just looking so hard and trying so hard, and you're looking so hard, and it's the old saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Your mind is so busy, and there's something either you're running from or you're looking for.
What a fool.
Being in the here and now. And that's what it's all about. It's just letting go and saying, okay. And it's like, I give up. And I think that's what it's all about. It's just saying, I give up. I've stopped trying.
Just laughed in my face. What a fall. Never thought I'd forget.
And it was interesting. There's a story about a guy. There's a lot of engineers in neurofeedback. They love this stuff. And it was, I don't know if he was an engineer or a doctor. And he was had the things hooked up to his mind, the electrodes up to, and he had a computer, and he was trying to make this thing work, right? And the story goes is that, so he said, it wouldn't work. So he said, oh, fine, I'll close it up. Boom, it starts. He says, whoa, it's starting. So he gets back, he starts going, this thing doesn't work again, you see? And he said, oh, the heck with it. And it starts again. And this is what it's all about. And this is what, this man was saying, is it's humble. And humbling, to be humble means I'm just one of the many. That's what the Dalai Lama says. I'm human. And you accept, and you stop trying. You just let go. And you can feel it. And you have relaxation therapies, or what they call tension therapies. They're trying to let go. And they go like this, and they go, and it's just trying to let go. Because it's so deep inside of us of having to. We've been told since we're kids, you know, don't do this, don't do that, do this. Don't laugh, don't, be this and be that. So what we learn is it's a survival mechanism. Okay, don't make a mistake. Don't make a mistake, and you'll hold on. And as you're a child, you learn this, it goes right into your whole system, your heart, everything. Don't let go. And you see this sometimes. The Swiss are like this. You ever see a Swiss? They walk into a room and they're sitting there going like this. You're checking it out? They're tense. Just don't let go. Don't make a mistake.
Never need a reason to pretend. A simple smile is all I ask.
Yes, what we're doing is you're sitting there, and the biggest thing is I had that young guy on, remember I told you? I said, don't do anything. He said, what do you mean don't do anything? I loved it. Don't do anything. What do you mean don't do anything? I'm here to do a therapy. I'm supposed to do something. And that's what therapies are all about, you see. And this is what this other fellow said. In all his therapies, I said, well, it was great. I like working with you. We work together. He says, well, that's what's different about you. He says, in all the therapies that I was in, right, I didn't do anything. I was told to do something, but I didn't. It wasn't interactive. And it was the therapist that was doing. And when you're sitting down here at the neurofeedback, right, you're doing the work. I'm just a coach sitting on the sideline, helping you to achieve a certain state. But you're doing the work. You're sitting there, you're learning, you're watching, you know. You become aware of your body. You may become aware that you're trying to force yourself. You become aware of the tension. And when you start to meditate and you start to feel, you can, what's his name? Elmer. This is what we do. We got bands you can put across the forehead. Muscle. Muscles are tense. We don't realize how tense and how much anxiety we have. And I have people go on here and I train them at beta. I just do them some training, a little bit of training. I'm not even lowering them much. And they go, whoa, whoa. They're tired. They're so, whoa. They've been at such a high, you know, and I lower them down just a little bit. It's like a big step for them. So with some people, you got to be real careful. If you lower them down too much, they can't deal with it. It's too much of a shock to the system. Because what happens is that they're losing control. And then they freak out. They've lost total control. So what we have to do is we have to retrain them back up to that point where they think they're in control. Children wet their beds. Why do children wet their beds? They're out of control. Their bodies are out of control. We train them, and we can train them. Their brain is a little bit higher. ADD people, when they go to sleep, they go so deep. They totally let go. Whoosh, they're deep into their theta. And everything, and they pee their beds. A lot of kids, ADD kids, pee their beds into the later years. It's because their minds are going to that deep theta when they go to sleep, and they're out of control. So we train them at a higher, we can train them at a higher frequency, wakes them up, and then they start taking control of their bodies. And they've helped a lot of people with children, especially ADD people, you know, losing control of your body systems. This is what the yogas, yeah, all fits, you know, you can learn to control. Right now, a lot of the times our bodies, we're just out of control. In a race of people now, we're out of control. Our emotions are out of control. We have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, our system, everything's out of control. Well, a lot of times it's, you know, colitis, you're talking about colitis. And sometimes, no, it's not too late. But the trouble is that there is so much fear, is that if I approach them and say, well, biofeedback, going to relax. Oh, no, 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 no. Because they don't want to accept the responsibility. You see, they want to, they want to have the doctor fix them. They don't want to go through that process of saying, okay, I can do this. It's also taking on that responsibility that maybe I could have done something about this. They want to feel, it's like the parents and the children. It's the children's fault. Parents don't want to say yes and admit, yes, my children are like that because of me. So they bring their children to therapists, fix my children. It's the same thing. They bring their bodies to the doctor and say, fix my body. It's not my fault. I mean, it was because I had a bad childhood, because of this, because of that. Blaming everything else except. So when you start to train, you've got to start taking on that responsibility. And then the key word, responsibility. People say responsibility like it's this obligation. It's not an obligation. It's response-able. Learning how to respond ably in life. Learning. Instead of responding inappropriately. And there's the trying again. You see, if I can just accept. Now, I love the movie title, It's As Good As It Gets. Isn't that what he said? It's perfect. Because, you know, I call that therapy stress. I call this, he's going and he's trying, and then finally he gives up and he says, this is as good as it gets. That's what it's all about. Because then you stop trying, then you get into an alpha state, then you become aware, then you start to grow. But it's this eternal search of trying to get up to these, trying to improve. Why? Why do I have to be up here? Why? What's the point? And that's the same thing with meditation. If you go into meditation with the objective of being perfect or being good or being whatever, then you're trying again. Then you're in control. That's the wrong thing. I just want to go in because I want to feel good. That's all. And that's what the Dalai Lama, remember, humble. That's all I am. That's all. And when you get there, then you have a release, like total release. Do I want to be right? Or do I want to be happy? Starting to live a way of life. I mean, do I have to have the best or whatever? When I started to calm, before I started doing neurofeedback and changing my life, I used to like going shopping with my wife for a pastime. We'd go down to the Volleys and go shopping, and I used to enjoy it. When I started to calm down, I didn't want to shop anymore. Because there was no, the hole was being filled. I didn't need something to make me fulfilled. And I started appreciating, my values started to change, because then I realized what's really important is family, the flowers, the life, that I'm alive. And all this other stuff. And actually it was funny, and I was getting to a point of going, just a minute now, but I'm supposed to want a new car and have a big business and have all this stuff. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. It became a conflict. And the other side was starting to say, I don't care about that stuff. And it was like, yeah, but you're supposed to. But I don't care. And then I started moving over, and I don't care. I don't care if I have a big, fast car, beautiful car. I would like to be able to go on a vacation with my wife, so I've got to make a little money so I can go on a nice vacation. But there's no have-tos anymore. The holes are being filled. And that's what we have, is these holes. We're looking for somebody to fix us. We go to the therapy. They're going to come up with some magic. They're going to fix us. And there's no magic. And in my program, that's what we talk about in the Heart Spot. It's no magic, no pills. Okay? It's learning how. When he says, what do you mean, don't do anything? That's the point. Is learning, just letting go. Letting that software, letting it do it. It's funny, I do my own training a lot of times. But when I have somebody, every so often, I can have somebody sit on that computer and train me. It's so much more effective. Because when I'm training myself, I've still got an awareness of, oh, maybe I need to change that, or maybe I need to change. But when I can sit there and and I can totally let go. As a matter of fact, I remember even when I did the first Alpha Theta, and there was a bunch of doctors watching, we're doing the testing, I'm doing the Alpha Theta. It's just a fear of just letting go and in front of these people. People come into me and they say with the Alpha Theta, they're supposed to not go to sleep, but I'm saying is it's wonderful. Because probably in their lives, they've not been able to relax to go to sleep in front of somebody. Is he looking at me? Have I got something on my end of my nose? Just that whole fear that they can come in and feel safe, because that's what I create here, is I want safe. You can come here, I don't judge you, I'm John, I'm not up here, we're together. They can walk in, they can do whatever they want, say whatever they want. They can totally let go. That's the whole idea, and that should be the idea of home too. Whereas if people come in, my son would have a rough day at work, and he'd come in and say some stupid things or be miserable or whatever, and I would be angry about that. Well, he's coming home to let go. It's his castle. That's what he should be able to do. Because when he's out there, he's got to be in control. It's a battle. And we keep a lot of therapists alive. We keep them with, and there's all kinds of therapists, because we're looking for something. And I've been there. Looking for somebody to fix me. And I would look to somebody at the beginning, looking for somebody to give me the magic answer, the solution. And finally, when I figured out I had to do this, and it was just doing stuff. It was regular, committing to one thing. It was the neurofeedback, listening to Les Femi and his tapes, going for my saunas. My saunas are important because we go for exercise, and then the sauna after, just laying down, and just doing this and getting into this. Okay, because my life was not like this. It was just getting into this rhythm of life. It's rhythm. Just letting go. Just okay, fine. And I don't have any control over this. That's it. I don't have any control. That's it. Just a want, a willingness. That's all. You know, a willingness and prepared. They have to be prepared to participate. They have to, I have to sense that they're not coming here for me to fix them. A lot of people do this, but for me, you know, they have to want to do this because it's their life. It's because they have to start feeling. You know, I have people look at me and say, "Am I doing okay? Am I doing all right?" And I said, "Well, what do you think?" Because I've been there. Always looking for somebody to tell me that I'm doing okay. I still do it once in a while. Neurofeedback, feedback, Elmer